So I just am running in the door here for people who are just coming on looking for me. They'll know I'm late, but the whole rest of everybody that's watching a recording won't have any idea. I just was driving down my driveway a few minutes ago and I was like, I'm coming. So golfing took a little bit longer than it should have, but that's okay. How are you guys? It is a beautiful Tuesday here in Rocky Mountain House. A beautiful, sunny, warm day for Rocky Mountain House. One thing I love about Rocky is even on the best days of the summer, usually it's like 24 degrees Celsius. I'm from Canada. 24 degrees, maybe 27. I don't think it ever hardly gets to 30 or 31. So it's quite nice here in my little town. I love it. And my golf course is just a few minutes away, so that's awfully nice. Got to see a deer and her baby today on the way home. Honked out at the baby, get off the road. Mom already gone and baby still was hanging around. So what up, baby? Go with mama. Anyways, I'm always grateful, when I see an animal, and then watching to see that there was no more going to and fro, but also as I'm braking, then obviously somebody coming towards me will be like, oh, must be animals in the ditch there. And so then they're also watchful. So for 5 seconds, that animal's totally safe for a little while. So that's kind of good. All right, so I am a card maker. I have Active Stamping here on Facebook, as well as I'm tidying up as I'm doing this. Yesterday I was working with watercolor pencils. I just put with watercolor pencil crayons, you're able to color them with blender pens, with water paintbrushes, or just straight on, and you can just leave them straight as. A question was asked yesterday whether they were soft lead or harder lead. I don't really know, so I looked it up and it didn't really say, but it said smooth coloring. All right, in Canada they're $25 for the starter kit of 13 of them, and you get the white and the black, which is really nice. And then the brighter colors, some people might opt for that anyways and go with a brighter bunch of colors. There's 10 of those for $20. And I can help get you those if you would like some. They're kind of fun. I'm going to pop you down and show you what I did yesterday. I added a little, I had those all in my hand. I could just put them away, but did I? No. All right. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pop you down. I'm not sure what we're 100% making today. I'm right back to the same mess that I have every time I turn around after a few days. I'm laughing. I've got a message, not from you guys. In fact, I'm not even sure if I'm in the right spot because nobody's saying boo to me. I'm going to start putting on my actual, that thing, my big computer to see messages because people leave messages. So I was in a bit of a hurry. The people that were on the 18th hole, I should color while I'm doing this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I can tell this story when I'm doing some other part of it, so I'll leave that. This is a little card that I made yesterday. I had it yesterday on the brick wall, and that wasn't really doing it. I don't know what I don't know what I want for the backing, but that didn't really work. So I have a roughed up stone, and that looks better in my mind. I don't know if you guys are like, oh no, what are you talking about? This is way better. I'm not sure. I also added a little bit of some pinks and yellows and making a little bit of orange. And although I'm okay with it, because I was really mussing with it and the water and taking it out and stuff, and look at the nice little clouds I have, totally just accidental, but I roughed up the paper, and I don't know if you can see it, but in real life even, it's not bad. This part right here is not good that I'm looking at it. I'll just pick those away. But other than that, it's just it looks like fluffy, puffy skies. So there's always a serendipity to everything we do. But yeah, I added in I worked on the color a little tiny bit on these guys. And this was, I'm kind of pleased with myself. It was a combined set from the framed, sorry, I need to get this down, from the framed scenes. It was this guy. And then I added in, I masked it, which if you're new to stamping, it's a very neat technique. I can't find the mask again. Here it is. Where you stamp, you stamp it and you cut it out. It's hard to see that is this image stamped and cut out, right? And then when I stamped over top it with that guy, all of that stamped over top of the stuff, but it leaves it in the background. So it's kind of a fun technique. I recommend this week, if you do one thing, post something over on Creativity for Everyone. That's a group that we have here. Everybody is always keen to see cards and comment on them. And you can practice some stamping. One way of masking is for flowers, to make a big bouquet. A lot of times people mask for a big bunch of flowers. but it's quite fun when you do something in the background. I always think of the classic, I said this yesterday, the classic example of the farmer standing, you could stand the farmer in front of a truck or in front of his barn or something like that. All right, so stamp sets, what should we do? What should we do? I was thinking toadstools today. So earlier today I did I think I'm going to do this because it'll be kind of quick and easy. I'm going to work with Opal Blue and Moonlight. I'm going to do a really interesting one. I'll pretend it's going to be interesting. And then maybe this pink. Sure, why not? I do need to grab some white paper. And I do see that it's weird. I've not got eyeballs, but I can see people crossing across the line. So if you are there, please say hi. But don't feel obligated either. I'll just sit here and think nobody's visiting with me, and that's okay too. So these stamps are kind of nice because they're full ink. I don't have to color. This will be a little bit shorter. We'll still finish up for Easterners before 10 o'clock. Easterners are like, it's already 10 o'clock. Oh, sorry. All right. So, and you can watch any of the replays. Facebook's only holding on to replays for 30 days, but I am putting them over onto YouTube. And that being said, I should put a couple more on now. I was trying to be a really good girl and do them quite easily, but so that anybody subscribing to my YouTube channel was never inundated with like, she downloaded 8 videos today. Ay. Like, come on, Lori, why'd you put all of them on then? If I did one a day, wouldn't that be nice? Yes, it would be. So that's my intention. I am full of good intentions. All right, so here we go. So when you're stamping with a photopolymer, it's a really good idea to stamp the fuller the image, which these guys are full, to stamp on a piece of foam. It doesn't have to be this thick of foam, but it's nice to have our beautiful piercing mats here. But red rubber stamps have a bit of foam, and they work best with a little bit of cushioning so that they have a little bit of give. So these guys need this little bit of give to have that go. All right, so these guys we don't have to color, but we do have to cut them. There is a punch for this set. I chose not to get the punch. Sometimes I kind of wish that I had the punch, but a lot of times I'm like, oh, I'm okay without the punch. So I'm going to see if I can find me as I'm talking and whatnot. All right. Oh, yeah, I have a spoon. So I was just going to say, you're going to see a hack. You're going to see all sorts of little good ideas here. So back in the old days, we did a lot of home parties, as I showed and did walks through. So I take a spoon and I push a little bit of the ink that sits at the surface. So we were really proud of our ink pads like 20 years ago, 23 actually. I waited till October to get started, so I got the brand new ink pads. But these guys here, basically. The old pads, it was good. So these are stored, when you store them pretty, they actually are stored upside down, right? I'm not sure that these foamy pads need that. And in fact, I use a spoon and I just pushed the ink down. When you have, oh my gosh, look at the black I have here. Hold on a second, I have to clean that up from my last stamping expedition. I find that these guys, they don't like, now I've got nice smooth, there's not a whole bunch of bubbles. I don't like bubbly stamps. Okay, I'm gonna stamp this right here. I might have been just about off the edge there. Oh, he's so light. Okay, he's not jazzy enough for me, so that's not enough ink. That's not enough color for me. I'm gonna bring in Pretty in Pink instead. And he's been pushed down once. Let's see how he is now. No, see how bubbly? Can you see how bubbly he is? So if you're getting that, I'll stamp him just right here because it'll be garbage anyways. But he tends to be a little mottled. He's not quite as pretty as he can be. So when you push down on it, it's not like you end up, you're not throwing away your ink. You're not wasting your ink. It's not like they're over inked. They're just perfectly inked, but they're just, between the photopolymer and the foam, it's just better. You get a better stamp if you push it down. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna stamp that here. And I'm going to turn this over and stamp one here. Ooh, just barely. You know what, I better cut this away because otherwise, I'm trying to save paper. let's see if I have room. Oh yeah. But otherwise I will run the risk of not stamping in the right spot, but also cutting off my other one. Nice, so pretty. Okay, I'll do 2 of those guys. And then I'm gonna do one of these guys in the blue. Hi, Allie, how you doing, hon? I was leaving the thing. I think you left me a message, or you were showing me something, Allie, but I didn't get a chance to read it because I was like on the run like crazy. I have so many tabs open, you guys. Oy, oy, oy. So I've been planning a trip with my daughter to Ontario and Quebec in a couple weeks here. And which will be like, and you're promoting us to join your group as well? Yes, I am. You should come and play with us. We're traveling the world vicariously, except right now, really, I am going to Quebec. So I am going away for, I might be gone for one of the weeks. So I can do a lot of the stuff that we do in the group from far away, obviously. But the Wednesdays, we still will have a teaching thing. I have to ask Keisha, but Keisha's a dear heart and she often stands in for me and teaches a class if I'm away on occasional Wednesday. And so I'm thinking she might step in for me and teach a class. And then Wednesdays we do a Zoom class. And so you get weekly Zoom classes with a really cool community. And we learn cool things. And we share. And you have a private Facebook group. And we are traveling around the world right now. We're going to a few different places this month again. We will go to a new place starting the start of next week. Okay, so that's that one. That's that one. Maybe I'll do these little guys and see what they do. They might be kind of pretty. Let's see what these guys do. But yeah, so my daughter and me are going to Quebec. Why was I going to tell you that story, I wonder? I feel like I was going to tell you something with that. I almost feel like I want to stamp these guys this on here. And I cut the whole thing out. Let's do it. And I think I'll just do the same color. I obviously wasn't doing that to begin with, or else I would have stamped differently. But anyways, I feel like I'm trying to tell you 3 stories. So the one story that I don't think I even hardly started, so it's okay. I probably wouldn't need to finish it, but I will just in case I started it. When I was leaving the golf course, like a shopping cart, you know, I just kind of threw my shopping cart at where it belonged, kind of. And it wasn't my shopping cart, though. It was my golf cart thing, like a rickshaw, I think they call it. Ooh, perfect. So, okay, so I think perfect, and yet I think I'm going to do this next one up into the caps because I think it should attach to the caps, but that's okay. These guys are going to kind of get hidden in the background. I'm hoping that this works. Okay, this will be great. I think this is it. Nice. That's perfect. So now I have to cut without my nice scissors again. Oh, come on, Lori. I need to find my scissors. So on Friday nights, we do a little drinking game when I lose stuff, and it's quite fun. I do know a couple girls are like, you know what? I crack a wine anytime I watch you and play the game. It's lots of fun that way. Always caveat, drink with care. But anyways, they're just totally teasing. Just to unwind. It's late in the evening time now anyways. It's just nice before you're heading off to bed. I don't know why I was going to tell you about my daughter and me going away this. I have no idea why I was leading in with that. I'm going to cut there. Anyways, so the other story, I pushed the cart and it flopped over just as friends of mine were coming up off the number 9. And they're like, hey, hey, hey. Meanwhile, what I was doing, I had to park in the lower parking lot today. So as I was whipping past some people on number 18, I was like, oh, you guys, do you mind driving me down to the bottom parking lot? When you're finished there, I still have to drop my clubs off and stuff, but would you do that? Oh, sure, they said. So the way they're coming and I'm just barely getting my clubs away, right? And so I got my clubs away, but I still had the cart in my hand. So I gave it a little shove and it flopped over. So I left a message for him when I got to the bottom of the hill just before I got in the car. Hey, will you fix that for me? My chariot waited. I needed to run. And So then he just left me a message and he said, got it taken care of. So that was nice of him. I don't know if he really did or not. I'm going to guess he probably didn't, but whichever. It was okay. Okay, I'm going to leave that because I'm probably going to have that on a piece of white. If it's going to go onto a piece of colored, I would probably go in there and fussy cut it. Since I'm also playing with you guys, I probably shouldn't take 100 years because it's already taken a long time. I'm going to have to. So one thing about the punch, I usually cut a little tiny bit of white. I make cards with the kids in the schools here in my town, and we deliver them to the seniors. And it is such a rewarding idea that I came up with. I'm so happy to be part of the activity, part of the I'll say program. So we make cards and we deliver them to the seniors that live in the senior complexes here around town. So not the senior citizens' homes, but their apartment buildings. So some of them still are out working and stuff like that. But anyways, it's very rewarding, and the kids are awesome making them and stuff. But I often tell them not to cut right on the line, because then you have to be perfecter. If you leave a little bit of white, it doesn't matter if it's a little uneven or smooth or not, but at least it's good. And I totally didn't do that there. What I was going to tell you was that the punches actually punch right to the line. So if I was wanting to pretend like I had a punch, I obviously was doing a great job, because that's how they look like. Anyways, all right, here we go. So I left a little message, not a message. I did a little live this morning. I just sitting out having my morning cup of tea. Well, second cup of tea, or third maybe even. But it just looks so beautiful out at my house this morning. It was like the fog had been on the thing. It was just really nice. And so I thought, you know what? Where's the other one? Oh, he's there. Where's that other guy? Man, it's bad when you can't even find the stuff that you're cutting out. So it was just beautiful. So I thought, you know what? I am going to just introduce you guys to my garden. And so I did. And I got some nice little comments, which was fun. I'm clearly cutting this guy right off. I'm not even going to have him. I'll leave him here to the side if I need him. And so I might have been saying something like that because Ellie was talking to me about some flowers that I have. I love the Google camera right now. You're able to take a picture. You go to Google and you take a picture from Google essentially, and it tells you what the heck you're taking a picture of. It's so cool. Okay. All right, 5 of those would be kind of nice. So I do need a couple of these guys though still. And I'm always wondering what color I should do them in. I think I'm going to do them in Smoky Slate because I'm using kind of soft colors right now. And here I have a dye. Oh, man, that was bad. I have, oh my gosh, can't see anything. Spit it out, Lori, go ahead. Oh, I was just taking a stamp off of this guy, the block, and it was full of ink. So I now have, my hands are completely full. And clearly I need to re-ink this because I am not getting a good stamped image here at all. That being said, one thing you can do as well, I'm going to do one more to replace one of these. If you hold it for a few seconds, but I do think actually it actually needs some ink. So they go from being fabulously inky to, but look, that looks way better. So stamping fast is not necessarily the best bet. That's the moral of that story. Anyways, I thought I would be inspired by my own garden. And sorry, I do see, thank you. I like this set too, Allie. I am now watching, I can now see your comments. Haha. Did anybody see my live when I was driving down the road at Warp 10? My driveway. I did hasten to say, it's my driveway. I should be allowed to drive like that. I wasn't driving very fast while I was doing the live. And yeah, I don't know if that notified anybody that I was, I don't know if some people got lost watching that for 5 seconds before they came over and were like, where's Lori? Okay, so this one, because I'm going to put it up into the guy, I do need to come right into it. And then I'd like to cut this narrower as well, because when you lay this down, I want it to be not have any weight. So I need to heed my own thing. So I learned a new grip for my putting, and I was on the run up here. Like I thought, I don't have time to even do this, but I'm going to do one more because I wanted to practice that grip one more time. And I sunk this giant putt. Like, honestly, it was probably 20 feet. So I was very pleased with myself. Thanks, Vicki, for showing me a new way to hold things. So I do not want to have 4 of these. Did I not stamp a 5th one? Probably not. Well, let's see. And these guys might look like a 5th. Supposedly what they say, it's more pleasing to have things uneven, right? So I should probably have an uneven number of those toadstools. But so yes, I did think I would be, this is the set I'm using. I did think, I don't know what I was going to tell you. I don't know. Oh, I was going to be inspired by my garden. So about 2 hours ago, just before I went to go golfing, I thought, what set should I use? And I thought, last time I went golfing on a nighttime, Tuesday night actually, I was able to make it back here in plenty of time. All right, you know what? You could totally have a brick wall with toadstools hanging around the brick wall. I like this, I think. Let's see. I also, this is the wrong color for these soft hues. Yes, it is. That lots of times a circle is kind of a nice way to ground things. I was doing a fun thing. Let's see if we can do something like that. I was doing this fun thing the other day. Geez, does anybody remember what I had down here? Oh, I'm going to have to go back to that set. I had one, maybe did I have a drink cup? There's no way. Did I have a drink cup? What did I have in the corner here? But maybe it was a drink. I don't see my drink. That's why I'm like wondering. Anyways, likewise with this, I wonder if we can pull in some extra stuff and mix a couple sets around. Oh, I do have, do you know, I do have this guy. No, that doesn't work. The rain boots would work. They totally could be in here. I might or might not have the right color to go in here. He might be kind of fun, actually. Have a few toadstools and then these guys will disappear down. I think I'm going to have him behind. And I'll have this little guy down here. And see now, because this is going to be on blue, I will come back in here before I glue this and I'll find my fancy scissors, but know that I'll clean this up a little tiny bit because otherwise he's a little bit messy. But I think I can have some toadstools around here. I like this little guy up here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, oh, maybe I can hide this guy here. So I just need him to, hold on 1 second. I need him to have his toadstool. I'm gonna hide that with that guy. Bring this guy in here. Maybe hide him a bit more. I should probably glue these guys down actually. Let me do that because they're gonna drive us crazy otherwise. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the tips of these guys and turn these guys into full, maybe I'm turning, oh, yoy, turning these guys into full toadstools. Hold on. Fortunately, I have enough glue on this one to work on all of them. It'll be perfecto. Oof-da-doo. I was just seeing if you can see me. Hello, can you see me? All right, now we can play with fire. I don't know if I have to keep refreshing this to keep seeing the comments. All right, so now I'm going to put this guy here. So we had him here. I'm going to lay this guy over top here. I kind of like that idea. Lay him down a bit. And this guy over a bit. I am just playing ideas. And this guy, fill in this space here. So again, I'm totally going to clean up this white spot here. Sure that I'm loving the boots. The idea should kind of work, and yet it's not, right? I scrunch these guys up a little tiny bit. I sometimes have trouble when I've worked hard on cutting these all out. I like to show them all off, but sometimes clumping them closer together is often good too. In reality, in my weed garden, I actually have knocked over rubber boots to be homes or to have the flowers in. I don't think I like the idea of having toadstools inside of the boots, but people do put flowers inside. I'm not sure. That's actually maybe not a bad idea. Maybe I should put these guys over here and bring him. So these guys are totally in the background. No, that's not working either. I don't know. What do you guys think? So? I'm not sure that I'm loving the colors of my toadstools, and him might be the wrong color too. Him might be. That's some good English I got going on there. All right. This is a potential. It's not going to work today. I'm going to pull these guys out because they're kind of not working for me. I was thinking, honestly, there's a really cool set that has a coffee mug. That was part of the coffee mug that you might have saw when I was cutting that card. One of these guys probably has part of it on there. Anyways, let's do this again. And I didn't get a chance to look. Often just before I come on, I will look quickly on Pinterest and be like, oh yeah, that'll work. And then I don't remember what I actually saw, but I'm sure that I should be able to recreate it. There. And I do think I'm going to put this guy down here. And I wish I had more circles right here. I have a green one, but I don't know if I like that. Not at all. Hang on, I still need to ground this with something, and then we'll get some. And I was way far away while I was stamping and cutting, but that's okay. And my hands weren't right in your face either, hey? I don't think I want it to be white, but I do have a piece of. Oh, that one's a little bit messy. I might try. Oh, boho is not going to be in here. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. I am just muttering to myself. Do you know what? No, that won't work. I really am muttering to myself. Lemon lolly might be pretty, and if not, it'll be a pretty. It'll be used. I'll be able to use it somewhere else. Is what I'm trying to spit out. Spit it out, Lori. Be right over there. So tomorrow night is our last night of this month, and we start fresh again next week. So if you would like to be like on the waiting list to get in to the Passport to Creativity, this is going to be a little bit small, but it'll feel like a little bit of sunshine. There, I kind of like that. Put this guy here. Put him up a little bit, him in a little bit higher, and then these little guys like that. And then some words. Can't wait to see you again as my famous ones. And if I put that here, it anchors everything even further. And I think a little bow would be kind of nice. I have a whole box of bows. So let's see what I have over here in my tickle trunk. I have a yellow one. That's what I was kind of wondering about. Put a little yellow bow over here. Maybe put this guy over here. There. That's nice. And put that whole thing onto a white card base, which I should have. Well, here it is. I was just going to say, I should have one because I just had it here. Dun, 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 dun. Still riding high on that guy. Pretty happy with myself. This guy's cute. So this one is garden inspired by my garden tour this morning. Da 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 da. You guys didn't think I was going to pull it out of my hat, did I? Da da. But I did. There it is. All right. I will see you later this week, you guys. Check out some replays over on YouTube channel. Subscribe to that YouTube channel, Act of Stamping, and you'll be up to date with all of these great ideas. I'd love to help you. If you have questions, let me know, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye-bye.